Ah, there you are, henchman. Now, are all the iguanas free?
What?
I asked you to free all the iguanas.
Freeze all the iguanas.
Free.
Freeze.
Free!
Uh-oh.
Are you telling me you froze all the iguanas? Well, that wasn't the plan. I wanted you to free all the iguanas so that we could build an iguana army and take over the world. You're on thin ice, henchman. Pun not intended. Yep, frozen iguanas are very much a thing over in the US at the moment. I just highly doubt it's because some henchmen misheard an iguana and froze them all. So why are iguanas freezing? Well, to point out the obvious, it's really cold over there at the moment. Parts of the US have been walloped with a pretty harsh winter storm, with temperatures in South Florida reaching as low as minus 3.8 degrees. That's unusually cold, especially for these guys. You see, green iguanas are not actually native to North America. They originate from Central and South America, as well as some islands in the Caribbean, where it's a lot warmer. Oh, and then there's the fact that, like all other reptiles, iguanas are cold-blooded. You see, we humans and other mammals and birds are warm-blooded, which means our bodies control their own temperatures. So, for humans, even when it's a bit chilly out here, it stays a toasty 37 degrees or so in here. That's not the case for cold-blooded creatures, like insects, arachnids, fish, amphibians, and reptiles. Their temperatures depend on the environment they're in. They get energy from the warmth of the sun, and if it cools down, they start to slow down and eventually become immobile.
Their bodies basically start to shut down to where they lose their functions, and so they're up in the trees on the branches sleeping, and then because they get so cold, they lose that ability to hang on, and then they do fall out of trees a lot.
They're falling out of trees? Oh, this is a disaster.
Yeah, well, maybe they shouldn't be falling asleep in trees.
Yes, well, maybe you shouldn't have frozen them.
Yeah, well, that's true. Don't worry, boss. I'm sure that as soon as the sun comes out and things start heating up again, eventually they'll thaw out. Yeah?
Yep, don't worry, just because they're frozen and falling out of trees doesn't mean they're dead. See, being cold-blooded has its advantages. It means you can survive much more extreme temperatures than we hot-blooded creatures. This isn't the first time iguanas have frozen because of cold weather, and experts reckon that eventually they'll thaw out and get moving again. So hopefully when things start heating up, these guys will go back to doing what they do best. Which, when they're finally thawed, will be taking over the world.
Yes!